All right, round three. This is going to be a care video for Dolichothele diamantinensis, or the Brazilian blue dwarf beauty. I've had a bunch of people asking about these, but I had just gotten my slings from Tiny at Fear Not in December and wasn't really ready to do a video on them. But they're about ready to be transferred now, so I figured good time to do one. These guys have been really fast growers. I got them at about a half an inch in December, and they're pushing over 2 inches now. I don't back in here, pushing about 2 inches now, so they're ready to come out of here. Very prolific webbers, even as little slings. They did a lot of webbing. They started off very, very teeny tiny. Actually, this enclosure looked a little big for them when I first put them in, but they quickly filled it full of webbing and made it their own. They did not burrow as slings. They did mostly webbing, even though I gave them enough soil to burrow in, and I did keep them moist to start off, but it's been very, very humid here, and it's something always to keep in mind that if you're in a humid area, you don't have to worry as much about the moist substrate. They're not going to dry out. I think right now it's probably about 100% humidity. So as slings, I got a warning from Tanya before I got them that they're very, very fast, and she wasn't kidding. They're very, very fast. One of them almost actually escaped when I was rehousing it. They seem to be very, very calm since hitting about an inch or so. They kind of just sit up top and don't usually hide very often. Of course, as I say that, this one's hiding. So I'll be curious to see how the temperament changes as they get older. I've heard some folks say they have very, very calm individuals, and then others that say that their specimens are still very skittish. So I'm not sure what we're going to get. This could be a bit of a jack in the box here. I don't enjoy rehousing the ones that have filled their enclosure up with webbing because it makes it very difficult to track where the heck the spider is. So this one could be a long one, or could go very easily. We'll see how it goes, and I'll give more information as we go. I've heard people say these need to be kept very moist. The thing is, they're from an area that has dry periods and moist rainy periods, but it's always very humid. The majority of folks now keep them dry with a water dish, and they do just fine. So I do have a water dish in this new enclosure. Oh, there it is right there. There's a spider. Now this is going to be fun. All right. All right, you know what I may do is try to get it out. I don't want it to fall. I do have a water dish in this new enclosure, as I was saying before I lost my train of thought. It'll web over it, and just know that if you have species that keep webbing over the water dishes, when they put enough webbing in there, it's waterproof, so it can kind of make a natural little water dish that you can just pour water into. Try something here. I was half expecting to see it on the thing. And hopefully I'm going to get a good shot of the colors, because these things are really gorgeous. Oh, there it is. There, little guy. He's behaving himself. I'm seeing if I can poke him in the butt and not have him shoot out. Nah. No. And this is some thick. Oh. There you go. All right. I'm going to move out of the way so hopefully Billy can get a shot of the colors on this one. The cool thing about these guys is they start very, very small and kind of an indiscriminate brown, but they seem to pick up their colors very, very quickly. And there it is, showing up very, very nicely. Just go ahead and... I believe at right about an inch and a quarter, I shined a flashlight in. They still look kind of grayish brown, and I could see the colors, which was great. So what I've given it here, and I have some people that will comment, because this is a beautiful spider, and yes, this is kind of a milky enclosure, but this is a great size for these kind of 2-inch slings. I love using it. These guys will all have clear enclosures when they get older, because I just love the looks of them. For this point, it's more important for me that they have something that's appropriate, and I want to point out that the way I have this set up is almost as a semi-arboreal enclosure. It's got the plant here. It's got the cork bark leaned up again so it can go underneath or go arboreal, because they have been kind of semi-arboreal in the way they've acted. And it's going to web the snot out of this thing as it goes, unfortunately, back in the lid while I'm talking. So I want to make sure I give it some room to web. When you give a heavy webber a shallow enclosure, what you will get is they will web the top of the enclosure shut. So just something to think about. This is why I want them in here, so I can give it some height so it can web up here, and hopefully I'll be able to get the lid off without disturbing the spider every time. as it goes back in. All right, come on, buddy. There you go. You get to keep the webbing. Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right, so hopefully we can get a shot of this, and hopefully we'll just sit here so I can get a shot for the thumbnail. But this is the diamantinensis, or the Brazilian blue dwarf beauty. I am doing a full care write-up for Tom's Big Spiders, my website. I've had a lot of people ask, and I know I talk fast in these videos, so what I'm going to try to do now is do the written care sheet for people that maybe have English as a second language or don't speak English as well, because I know I've had several people say that, you know what, I enjoy reading it more because you talk too darn fast in your videos, and the problem is I'm trying to keep these from getting too long. So this will at least give people a choice, and some of the stuff I missed when I'm going through this one will make it into the blog post, which is actually much more thorough. So there they are again. Fast growers, and something to note is when I got them, it was wintertime, it was dry in my house, and it was the temperature in the tarantula room was between 72 and 75, and they still grew very quickly with those temperatures. So if you have a home that's much warmer, or if you get them in the summertime where the temperature's in the 80s, I'm guessing they'll grow even faster. So if you pick up a little sling of these guys, know that you're going to have a beautiful little spider in not too long at all. It's been 6 months, and these guys are already looking like adults. So beautiful, beautiful species. And again, I will go ahead and cut and paste a link to the blog post when it's ready in the comment section of this so that everybody will have it. But awesome little species, fantastic little Weber, and definitely very, very pretty.